Is Cara Dune coming back to Star Wars?
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time.
Okay, before you click away from this video and go, Mike has lost his mind, there's some breaking news. Gina Carano has had this pending lawsuit out on Disney for years now. And just now, they have finally come to an agreement. And this could lead to a fan favorite character of Cara Dune coming back in the Mandoverse. So yeah, I haven't lost my mind completely yet, so let's talk about this. Is it really possible for Cara Dune to return? Well, first things first, let's look at the statement that Disney released. As it says this: the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Gina Carano to resolve the issues in her pending lawsuit against the company. Ms. Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the near future. So that sounds pretty damn good to me. But before we dissect that and what it actually means, why was this lawsuit happening in the first place? So maybe if you've been living under a rock for the last 5 years, then you haven't noticed that Cara Dune has been missing from The Mandalorian Season 3, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and the Book of Boba Fett. Actually, the last time we saw this character was in 2020 in The Mandalorian Season 2. After her great introduction in The Mandalorian Season 1, Episode 4, Sanctuary, Cara immediately became a fan favorite character. And she was side by side with Din Djarin for a lot of adventures throughout the course of Season 1 and Season 2, going up against Moff Gideon multiple times, and even being a part of this awesome group of Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, and Fennec Shand, who were all brought together to go save Grogu. Cara's character specifically even got a way bigger role in Season 2 because fans loved her so much, and they even set her up for more story later down the line. And to top that all off, she was in attendance for Luke Skywalker's epic return at the end of Mando Season 2. So she got to witness greatness right in front of her. And she went out on a high because after meeting Luke Skywalker, she vanished. And the reasoning for that is because Gina Carano got fired. All this because she posted some stuff on X, formerly known as Twitter, that ruffled some feathers. Now, we're not going to dive into what that said, what it means, how we feel about that. That's clearly not for us to decide. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, not in a million years. However, that happened and she was fired. Those are the facts. But a few years ago, Gina started this lawsuit against Disney. And I thought, much like many of you probably did too, we will never see Cara Dune again. Gina Carano will never be back working for Disney, and I guess we just gotta move on. And as a Star Wars fan, I was kind of devastated by that because I like the character of Cara Dune. And let's not forget that she was set up to get her own spin-off show. All the way back in 2020, a show titled Rangers of the New Republic was announced. And it was set up through Mando Season 2 that Cara Dune would be the lead of this show, and it would show us the New Republic. You probably get some struggles with the remnant of the Empire in the Outer Rim. That show would actually probably allow us to get Grand Admiral Thrawn reintroduced a lot easier because you get to see the big blue meanie take over the Outer Rim from the New Republic's perspective through Cara Dune, Carson Teva, and other pilots in that Outer Rim. And also, some people believe that Rangers was replaced by the Book of Boba Fett. And that's why Book of Boba Fett is only 7 episodes instead of the usual 8, like Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka, and The Mandalorian all are. And the Book of Boba Fett felt like a Mando Season 2.5, as some fans will call it. It almost seems like they had 2 routes to go down. Follow Cara Dune as the Ranger of the New Republic, or give us more of the legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett, and their hand was forced to do the latter. Now, you can tell me in the comments which you would prefer, whether we got in Rangers of the New Republic or the Book of Boba Fett that we have today, but to me, it's like, why not both? Because From the Desert Comes a Stranger in the Book of Boba Fett is one of my all-time favorite episodes of Star Wars. Luke training Grogu alone is like the most poetic thing in Star Wars. He gets trained by Yoda, and he's training a Yoda species. I mean, come on. But the problem was Gina Carano was fired, so Rangers was just never mentioned again. It wasn't canceled, it just pretty much never existed. After the firing of Gina Carano, it was gone. Thanos snapped out of existence. And all that brings us to today. A day that honestly I thought we would never see. And as we go back to this message from Disney, the last line, of course, is the one that's being talked about the most. We look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Miss Carano in the near future. That has Star Wars fans thinking that she might be coming back as Cara Dune. But people have been glossing over the middle, saying that all the directors, co-stars, and staff that worked with Gina Carano loved her. even going on to say that Gina herself worked with everybody in a respectful and kind way. So this lawsuit is completely out the back door. But the front door has reopened. Does this mean that Rangers of the New Republic is back on the table? Does this mean Cara Dune could be reintroduced in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie or Ahsoka Season 2? Or maybe it's just too late for that because filming has already ended on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie and Ahsoka Season 2 is filming right now. But there's a lot more stories that need to be told in the Mandoverse. Possibly a Book of Boba Fett Season 2, a Skeleton Crew Season 2, or even Dave Filoni's Mandoverse movie. It may sound crazy, but I'm sitting here on August 8th of 2025 saying Cara Dune could actually come back to Star Wars. And I'm not saying it sarcastically. For both parties, this would be great. Gina would be open enough to come back and give Star Wars fans what they want, and Disney would be getting an instant win and respect from a lot of Star Wars fans. They'd settled their dispute their way, just give the fans what they want. This would also be the first time we've ever seen anything like this happen. An actress getting fired from a company, and then 5 years later, she returns? Disney would be breaking new ground in Hollywood. But if George Lucas and Star Wars have taught us anything, it's the story of redemption. But that begs the question, is that what we want? Do we want Cara Dune to come back in the Mandoverse? Do we want Rangers of the New Republic to be back? Or has time passed?
Let time pass.
This brings up the question, is it even possible to bring Cara Dune back to Star Wars? Well, it's not as simple as yes or no. The good news is she's not dead. When Gina Carano was fired all those years ago, they didn't kill off the character of Cara Dune. Maybe they knew something we didn't, and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were hoping that she could come back. I've always thought that since 2020, Star Wars has always had this plan. Few wrenches have been thrown into that plan, like the firing of Gina Carano, but there's always been a plan to do this story, to bring Grand Admiral Thrawn back as the heir to the Empire, and have these new heroes that we've learned of along the way, like Din Djarin and Grogu, take the big blue meanie down. And I think originally, Cara was supposed to play a role in that storyline, so instead of just removing her character completely, killing her off screen just because the actress was fired, maybe they learned a lesson from Star Wars and held out hope that someday the character of Cara Dune could return. But in The Mandalorian Season 3, there's a valid reason for why she's not there. They explain it by saying that Cara has joined the New Republic in this Special Forces group, which honestly sounds really cool and probably would have been the plot of the Rangers show, but it does leave the door open for her possible return. That Special Forces group will be pretty handy when you're going toe-to-toe with Grand Admiral Thrawn and these Night Sisters. So there is the opportunity to bring this character back in-world. There's only 2 questions left. Will they actually pull the trigger and bring her back, like this message says? And do we want her to come back? Would you like to see Cara Dune back in the Mandoverse? Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and did you think this ever could have happened? Because I didn't. I honestly never thought I'd be making this video, but here we are today. Speaking of future projects, we got this insane bit of news about Star Wars Starfighter. Matt Smith, Mia Goth, Ryan Gosling are all casted and they're ready to go filming next month. But I break down all the new news on Starfighter in this video right here.